Wales and Ireland, folks, Six Nations 2025, and that was a game. That was a game. Welsh rugby showed what they could do a wee bit. Admittedly, they don't get the result. It's another Irish win. It's an Irish Triple Crown. Six Nations campaign is still looking good for these guys, but I got up at 3:15 in the morning to watch this one and was thinking, geez, please don't let it be just a lopsided affair where I'm kind of halfway tuning out because the game's dead and buried. No. Wales put in a cracking effort. They led for a period of this game. They scored a couple of nice tries. They defended well, but ultimately the Irish juggernaut still goes on. But they were given a little bit of a game by the Welsh. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. I am a happy Kiwi. Haven't seen this one. Good way to start my Six Nations weekend. We'll go through some of the key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how this one went. Certainly the start of the game, and it was interesting to see the teams in the different jerseys from normal. It's usually green and red, but with the colourblind jersey clash thing for people who've got red-green colour blindness, they switched, and I think it's in future games, it's going to be always one team in the alternate kit. It was Ireland in the white for this one, so anyone with that red-green colour blindness will have to let me know if it made much of a difference for you, but it was certainly just different from the kind of norm of red and green. But yeah, with Ireland in their white kit, the only area they were looking at, well, maybe two areas that they were struggling a little bit early, Ireland, was scrum penalties. Wales kept winning a lot of them. And, knock-ons. Ireland knocked on a lot of ball early in this game. And the Welsh defended well. Like, Wales got the early scrum penalty. Ringrose, though, replied with a 50-22, which got Ireland on the front foot. Attacking line out, eventually Jack Conan is able to power over from close range. This looked to be kind of going according to the normal script of what was predicted. Ireland, massive favourite, 7 points to 0. Great start from them, but the scrum kept continuing to concede penalties, although Wales were kind of fluffing their lines from those resulting chances, like with a missed line out and whatnot. But to be fair, Ireland were looking dangerous and Wales were making their tackles. Yeah, Jack Morgan, Tommy Reffell going to town doing their defensive shift among other guys. And then when Ireland would knock it on, Wales would get a scrum penalty. That was the kind of story you feel like of the first kind of 20 minutes until Nicky Smith went off and then Ireland won their first scrum penalty. Nicky Smith would come back on, but yeah, Ireland slotted that resulting penalty from the scrum. 10 points to 0 lead. Looking pretty hunky-dory. That being said, they knocked it on after the restart. Another bloody Irish knock-on, which leads to, Wales down the correct end of the field for them. They're able to get a 3-point of their own. So still within touching distance. And it was just nice to see the Welsh attacking shape look more fluid than we've seen it look in ages. Like, they were getting width. They weren't standing stupidly deep. These guys were able to draw the tackler in and pass the ball with some nice hands kind of late in the contact. So that was just easy on the eye and just looked dangerous. It was able to get some go-forward ball, which was refreshing after seeing these guys just look pedestrian for the last kind of 2 rounds. So that was pleasing. Ireland could do the same thing, though. Ireland managed to totally compress the Welsh defence at one point and blew a bit of a sitter of a try. Osborne just needed to find Ringrose. Couldn't quite get it done, so kind of blown opportunity for them. But, then Ringrose gets into the action in the wrong way when he puts in a head-on-head contact tackle with Ben Tomos, who's been hit in the head a couple of times this Six Nations. And once again, the person who hit him ends up getting a red card. It's initially yellow. Off-field review gets upgraded to red. So, man advantage for Wales. What can they do with it? They take the initial 3 to make it 10 points to 6. And, we get some handbags not too long later. The scrums continue to be a point of contention between the two sides. Wales are getting some pay there. And before half-time, Wales were able to get a try. Like, they really needed it because they had a scrum, which gave them a penalty. They had a man advantage with Ringrose off. They had the crowd absolutely fired up. They were down the Irish end. Maul, phases, advantage, touch, go the maul again. And then eventually, through some phases, took some working, but Jack Morgan's able to get his side on the board try-wise to keep this game very much alive at halftime. Like, Wales have had 62% possession. They've had 2 clean breaks, the Irish, and 3 to the Welsh. So Wales out clean breaking anyone has been a rare sight. in recent times. And Ireland have knocked it on 7 times to 3. Ireland have conceded 8 penalties to 4. 4 of those Irish penalties at scrum time, 2 to each prop. And the defenders beaten 14-6 in Wales' favour. So Wales have got some nice attacking numbers. Ireland's coughing up a bit too much ball. And conceding a few too many penalties. But the game is still very much in the balance. Ringrose card gets upgraded at the start of the second half. I hope Ben Tomos had a HIA. I mean, they say it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, it's all about like the gum shield, and not necessarily every high shot should be HIA'd, but you just hope he gets HIA'd. But they had plenty of time to do it at halftime, so fingers crossed they did that right. And then another Irish knock on to start the second half as well. Prendergast, who's got nice bloody kicks for touch, knocked on a few balls, missed a few bloody tackles in this game as well, to be fair. But starts the second half with a knock on. Wales get it going versus 14 men, and then Tom Rogers with the finish, proper wingers finish. It was Ben Tomos to Blair Murray who found some space, and then the final ball to Tom Rogers. So Wales take the lead to start the second half. That was not really supposed to be the way this game was going to go. But, man, you could see what it meant to the crowd. They were getting fired up. Rhys Zammit was in the crowd. The Welsh coaching staff had smiles on their faces in the box. It was crazy, crazy stuff. So 18 points on the board for Wales. But then Ireland did manage to finish the end of the red card period with a 3-pointer, which you at least felt kind of just pulled the momentum back a little bit, because it was, from their point of view, threatening to get out of hand, but they had a wee bit of a settler. Then Wales kind of got nice call go their way, like just when you're thinking, are Ireland going to pull the momentum back, because Ireland had a bit of line-up disruption on a Welsh line-up, which ended up getting thrown not straight. You're thinking, here's a chance for Ireland to pinch it, but then McCarthy got pinged for a push on a man in the air, which otherwise might have got missed. But when that happened, I was thinking, man, is this going to be Wales' day? Because they're spotting everything. But then, no, like Prendergast kicked a nice 50-22 kind of in reply. And then from those phases, that attacking bit of territorial pressure, Gibson-Park's able to put a dinking kick through across. James Lowe looks to be nothing doing because it looks to be too big, but he taps it back for Osborne. Osborne's able to score. So that's a cracker. 18 points apiece. Beautiful stuff. Ireland find a really good way to reply, just as Wales are looking to maybe, get that bit of momentum going. Nope, take it away from them. And then, like, Wales have their own chance. Like, Ireland bombed a try kind of earlier on. I don't know if it would have been a try, but Ellis had a nice pass. Well, not quite. It hit the shoulder of Max Llewellyn. Might have been giving the Irish guy something to think about on defence if he'd make that line break and able to hold the ball, but not able to do that one. And then, like, James Lowe, his boot pushes the kicking duel back for Ireland. He's able to push the Welsh guys back into their own half. Mack Hansen gets held up. It's a bloody close one for Ireland. They had advantage anyway, though. And Prendergast able to slot 3 points. And this is where Ireland take the game away. Makes it 21-18. Then you get another TMO call. This one, Henry Thomas, high on Porter. I feel like that one's going to be divisive because he kind of hit him high, but he hit him high with the chest. So they're saying because it was chest, it didn't really count. It's a bizarre one. You don't usually see that. It's usually either kind of shoulder on head, head on head, in which case you get the book thrown at you. But this one was chest on head, and they said he was trying to wrap. So nothing doing. But I can see people seeing that one the other way. But then again, right as something goes Wales' way, they get out of jail with that one not going against them. Bundyaki immediately wins a penalty at the breakdown. Boy, he's fired up. Look on his face. He's a man possessed. Another slot penalty for the Irish. It's a nice kick from Prendergast. So there you go. It's 24-18. What can Wales do? They got one last crack at it. And a couple of the decisions have kind of gone their way, like in terms of the TMO ones. But Ellis Mee's score doesn't go their way. Like he looks to have potentially scored in the corner after a load of Welsh faces. Again, it's beautiful rugby from the Welsh guys. So close. It's given as an on-field try as well, which means there has to be compelling evidence. But, like, is he in touch? Is he short? Has he lost the ball? Because it's only fingertips on it. And they take a wee while to look at it, but this is one of the few times I will say, like, okay, the TMO needed to have a nice long look at that one because it was bloody close. But they ruled that he's grounded it short and then just kind of lost it forward. So maybe on another day that one could have been given, but there was multiple things to look at. So they ruled that it's a knock on, and then that was it. Like, Ireland get a scrum penalty, later a breakdown penalty. The Welsh guys, I think, are pretty knackered by this point. They've had a game, one more 3-pointer for the Irish, makes it 27-18. That's your final scoring. Like, Wales kept playing when Ireland missed one last penalty crack. Wales kept chucking it round, so encouraging signs, but not quite enough to get them even within kind of touching distance at the end against a pretty bloody good Irish team who've just won themselves a triple crown. So, yeah, so much for it being kind of, could a 12 or 13 man Irish side still beat Wales? That was all obviously a bunch of nonsense by a bunch of numpties, but Wales gave it a good crack and Ireland just too good. Stats-wise, the run meters is 354 to 218, and that's in Wales' favour, which I wouldn't have predicted going into this one. The clean breaks is 7-2, and the defenders beaten is 32-12. All of these stats, and the offloads is 13-7, all in Wales' favour. That's bonkers. Like, Wales haven't been playing like that. Not at all. So, very, very pleasing to see, very encouraging. Knock-ons, 9-7. Ireland have more of those. Ireland did knock on a fair bit of ball, which, especially in the first half, blew a few chances for them. And the penalty count was 12-11 by full time, which means in the second half it was 8-3 against Wales. Remember, Ireland were getting pinged in the first half. Wales were the ones getting pinged in the second. So, yeah, a bit of a turnaround, especially at scrum time from the Irish guys. And, yeah, individuals, Tommy Reffell, like 17 tackles. Massive shift from him. Jack Conan was getting some go-forward ball for the Irish in terms of their loosies with their carries in the absence of Caelan Doris. Blair Murray had 77 metres and 11 defenders beaten, which is cracking from fullback. Peter Amani, 19 out of 20 tackles for the veteran. So, yeah. Prendergast had 8 made and 7 missed. That's that area of his game that he needs to get better. But, geez, he's got a nice kick for touch. Ireland have got France next, which is going to be fascinating stuff. But we've still got to see how France goes against Italy first. And Wales are away to Scotland. So, encouraging signs for Wales. And another win on the road to what is thus far a perfect campaign for the Irish guys. You guys let us know your thoughts. I'm off to watch England take on the Scots. Take care of yourselves. Subscribe to the channel. Talk to you guys again soon. See you later.